Thank you so much. It sounds great. Thank you so much. When day
congregation of Atlanta. We are a philosophically based spiritual community dedicated to human liberation, founded on existentialist and feminist principles. And we're delighted that each of you chose this morning to come. It's a beautiful day outside. It might have been easy to stay out there, but we're really glad you're here with us. Our opening words this morning come from Brian Eno. He said, when you sing with a group of people, you learn how to subsume yourself into a group consciousness, because a cappella singing is all about the immersion of the self into the community. That is one of the great feelings, to stop being me for a little while and to become us. That way lies empathy, the great social value. And Jean Heinrich and I am Robert Stewart are your facilitators today as we welcome you and as we introduce the brand new It was chosen by you and by a committee that was chaired by Dr. Jean Heinrich, who will now give us her action statement and existential acknowledgement.
We have a lot to be grateful for. And one of them is for Retha Williams. Amen. Amen. Who maybe some of you don't know, she moved out of town, but she's the lady that did our labyrinth. And she's the one who made our very first songbook. So I want to acknowledge and give thanks to Retha Williams. Yeah. If I could get you all for a moment to take in a deep breath, maybe stretch, maybe sigh, and again. And bring your awareness here in this moment with our gratitude, with our acknowledgments, come gratitude. And gratitude is an antidote for a lot of stuff. Lowers your heart rate, it kicks in your immune system, besides just making you feel a whole lot better. We struggle sometimes to find words that will wrap enough meaning and juice gratitude that we do feel. And so I want to call your attention. In our program, we have an acknowledgement statement that really bears witness to our struggle to honor the people who built our sanctuary. Members of the East Antioch Baptist Church. And then to also acknowledge the people, the Native Americans, the Muskogee, Lower Muskogee Creek tribe, whose land we're on. So there are so many paradoxes in living, and I want to highlight one. That although words are very important, and words have power, talk is also cheap. It's one of those existential paradoxes where both are true. So as existentialists, we are striving not just to put words in a program or stand up here on Sunday morning and recite some words that can get dry and lose the significance of the meaning. So I want to highlight that. And I also want to highlight that we not only have words in a statement, but we are taking action to support these people. We're giving them time, we're giving them energy, and we're giving them money. And I'm guessing that if Lorraine is here, she will say something about the Lower Muskogee Creek Native American Indian Gathering that she and Wade and other members of our congregation got a GoFundMe page started, and we've donated a lot to it. So, taking another deep breath. Stretch. Let yourself look around and feel how lucky we are in this moment. Oh, yes, yes.
We hope you will enjoy this new songbook. It is arranged a little differently from our longtime pink-bound book in that it is alphabetical. It has no page numbers. The reason for that is so that we would not have to reprint the entire book when we want to add songs to it. Because like our consciousness and our actions, our interest in music is constantly evolving. So, we invite you to stand and sing in body or spirit as you're willing and able. Okay.
I want to introduce the members of the SOBAD Songbook Addendum committee that put this songbook together. Robert Stewart, Carol, stand up please. Carol Harter, Mary Howard, and Andy Weiskoff. And I also want to introduce the E-Band, Craig Rayfuse, Nick Kenny, Ted Harris. Who else? Who am I missing? Andy. that would like to introduce themselves? That have the courage. Okay.
I got one here. Visitor Sylvia on ukulele, she's known to the community. Is our neighbor next to Andy and I.
And I work here.
Oh, yeah.
Liz.
Liz Albright, I used to belong here. I came because I heard a lot about the Songbook Committee from one of your members, so I just want to see what they did. Still belong here.
Yeah.
Many of the songs that you're going to hear today were actually written by either members of the congregation or members of our community, and they join other popular songs. But the one that we've chosen to begin is one that we think you'll know, and again, we invite you to stand. It is Come and Go With Me.
Under sea. Under sea.
What's the song again?
Come and Go With Me.
And you all leave some room for the band to take some solos.
I'll give you a heads up here. Here we go.
Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. This time it's justice. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. Singing. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land.
any birthdays or anniversaries to celebrate today? And while we're doing that, let me mention, we're going to have community announcements at the end of the service today. So if you have community announcements, if you would kindly bring them to me or to Jean, then we will have those at the end of the service. So birthdays or anniversaries?
Yeah.
No? Okay, very good. Carol Barber, we have something about singing.
Oh, it's my turn. Do I have to speak into this?
Yes, you do.
Can you hear me?
If you speak into it.
Take
Yeah,
my mask on?
yeah, no, that's good.
Is that better? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Carol Harter. I've been here a long time. Okay. I came to Atlanta in July, over the July 4th weekend of 1979. The first thing we did when we got here was to look up Lanier Plants, because we had heard about him down in South Georgia, North Florida, and wanted to hear what he had to say for himself when he's not just writing things. So we came and we found him. And at the time, the Existentialist Church was known as Existentialist Church, which I must say, we changed to the Existentialist Congregation when we turned 13. So like a rebellious teenager, we changed our name. And it's been the same since. Anyway, at the time, Existentialists were meeting at the YMCA. And so, I guess the first of our rebellious songs, or whatever, resistance songs, was singing YMCA. And every once in a while, when we have a dance, somebody remembers and plays it, and we all sing along with all the ham things that go with it. The other thing that I knew about, or remember about church at the YMCA, God, my brain's gone, was that it started when, the service started when Lanier pulled up and popped his trunk, and we all went out and grabbed a box or two. One box was full of hymnals, songbooks, those yellow songbooks, which incidentally, if you've ever wondered why in the pink songbooks there are 2 numbers for every song, it's because the little number is from where it was in the yellow book. So we kept those for old time's sake. And then we made our own numbers in numerical order. Anyway, somebody would have a box of that. Somebody else had a box of tambourines, shakers, music stuff. Somebody else would have a box of candles and incense and candle holders. These are all in boxes, church in a box. The other box that showed up was Bill Reed and his box of t-shirts, because he was always in the back hawking t-shirts. I haven't seen that for a while, Bill. We've got to get going again. Yeah. Anyway, one of the other things that I did when I first came to Atlanta was I joined a singing group called the Atlanta Feminist Women's Chorus. And this is when Jean first said something about this singing as an act of resistance. That's what I thought about. That and We Shall Overcome. Oh my God, we can't have lived through that time without We Shall Overcome being the song of resistance. And I'm sure there are other ones, because I know when I was paging through the Pink Songbook last night, I came across a heck of a lot of songs. One's by my favorite. I wrote her name down. That's good. Holly Near. Yay. One time, when practice started up, and it always started up in September, and she came to us with a song. It was not only a long song, but it was in Spanish. Desaparecidos. It's about the people in Chile who were disappearing one by one. They'd go off to work and they'd never be seen again. They'd go off to school and they'd never And they went to the shop, to the mall, not the mall, the place where they got their food and stuff. And they disappeared, and I don't know to this day whatever happened to those people. Somebody probably knows, but I don't think it's good. Whatever, they just kind of disappeared. So we sang that song, and we sang a lot of songs. Chris Williamson, and a lot of those good things. We had a pretty good following of people. In fact, when we sang at Georgia Tech in the auditorium there, it was full. We had a great time. And a lot of the songs that we sang was resistance. A lot of it was attitude, like, so we're a bunch of women who happen to love women, well, live with it. That was kind of fun. People probably don't know anything about that kind of stuff anymore because it's more like, oh God, don't tell me you're a lesbian. You know? But that's how it goes. That's how it went. Anyway, I guess that's about all I can say. If you really want some songs for resistance, take a few pages from the Pink Book. And I didn't look through our new book, but I'm sure there's stuff in there. Because those kind of songs have been going on for a while. Bye.
Before Carol sits down, Carol was the chairwoman of the Songbook committee that put together the Pink Book.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Some of the songs that we sang from the Pink Songbook. All God's Critters Got a Place in the Choir.
Oh, yeah.
Love that song.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's kind of like existentialist. Everybody belongs. Everybody's got a purpose. Everybody's got a role.
I realized I wore the right mask since I'm going to sing in Spanish today. If you don't speak Spanish, it says good vibes only. And I got it because it was the best mask, at Walmart when I was looking for a mask. And I didn't hear it, it was in Spanish. So.
It's in your book under L.
Yep. And so I'm going to sing, you'll notice they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to sing the Spanish, then the English, Spanish, then English, and, I'm going to alternate them. And if you don't speak Spanish, that's fine. You can just listen to the Spanish verses, and if you're not comfortable with singing it, and just and sing the English translation. What's the name of the song? Las Criaturas.
L-A-S, Las Criaturas.
Yeah, it's under L. I think it's the first one, is it? Just look L-A-S. Under L. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in case you didn't notice, that was a song, both lyrics and music, composed by Kathy. Our fellowship minister, Martha Mitchner, often brings us little morsels of wisdom, bits of fertilizer to help us grow during the week. We invite her to come up and share a couple of those now.
After that, I don't want your expectations to be too high. But I'm really grateful to see everyone here this morning. It's always so wonderful to walk into this place and to see all of you. It just warms my heart. It makes me feel good. It begins my week so wonderfully well. So thank you for making the choice to be here today. Like I said last Sunday, what for me personally, what just cannot get out of my head is what's going on in Ukraine. It just seems to, when you think it couldn't get any worse, there's some additional atrocity that occurs, and my heart is just so burdened with the senseless loss of life and the idea of once this war is over, the hardships that are still going to be faced by people coming back to towns that no longer exist, homes that are gone, businesses that have been obliterated. So please, in whatever way that you hold people in your heart, and if you have a way of helping with your pocketbook, there are abundant ways that are legitimate ways that you can go online to organizations and help out in that way. And the other thing is, every day, be kind. Whoever you meet, just be kind and treat people with love, and see if we can, in some way, create that kind of Aquarian conspiracy that the old book, talked about, where the goodness that we can put into the world will create ripples and affect the overall atmosphere and attitude in this world.
I'd like to invite you to sing along with Sometimes I Feel, whoops, like a motherless child. And so the band's going to introduce it, play first, you all come in and sing, band's going to play some more, and then we'll close it out, okay?
Please stand in body or spirit if you're willing and able, under F for some time.
This is a time that we, are graced with the privilege to be able to sit and savor the beauty, the safety, the good vibes. So please give yourself permission to be here now in your thoughts, your prayers, and we will spend some quiet time together.
I'm thankful that Robert opened up with a tribute to choral music, and I want to go a little further on that. Reading, I have some readings here, and one, of course, we're probably pretty familiar with. It starts out, and he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But that sound wasn't sad. Why, that sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall, the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And of course, the Who's in Whoville Could be Germans in Berlin, or Americans in New York, or Japanese in Osaka. And I have a reading about that. And the way this came about, by the way, I found it on the internet, following the suggestion of Jean that I just look up something under, what was it? Singing for Resistance. So I found, first thing I found was a full-length feature. It's on Netflix, but actually the full-length feature is on YouTube. It's called Following the Ninth. It's been around since 2012. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it is the most amazing thing. It goes through movements along human history, modern ones mostly, and how the Ninth Symphony, the different movements in the Ninth Symphony follow along, or how those movements follow along with different movements that Beethoven set out. And I got the link to it. It's kind of hard to find in a way now, because when I pull it up, I see mostly trailers, but there is a link to the full-length feature. And one of the things that was on the feature that was so interesting to me, and I went further with this, I found something from Mental Floss. And this is from a writer in the Atlantic, and these are his words. In Japan, it's an end-of-the-year tradition to sing the Ode to Joy, the final movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. The song is so well known in Japan, it's simply known as Daiku, literally meaning number 9. In Osaka, a 10,000-person strong number 9 chorus of amateur singers performs the Daiku every December to thundering effect. While there are some professionals involved, like the soloists and the orchestra, the number 9 chorus is a community event, and the sound of 10,000 singers, trained or untrained, is unbelievable. And then later on, in 2011, there was a reminder that in the wake of the devastating earthquake and tsunami in Japan, the number 9 chorus gave a performance. And of course, the Ode to Joy has really resonated with captives throughout recent years. And in Chile, it says here from the Carcel de Valparaiso, in prison, we would sing the Ode to Joy when a comrade was released or sent to exile. And the most amazing thing about that, of course, is one of the comrades is now the president of Chile, Michel Bachelet. Okay, well, so it's a powerful source of strength, solidarity, ironclad brotherhood, and
Sisterhood.
sisterhood, yes. Well, all of us Anyway, we are all creatures of the earth, and to earth we all return. And it is an annual event that the family of my father gathers in Calhoun for the end of the summer. And my grandmother, my father's mother, was actually from a fairly prominent family in North Georgia, in Calhoun, actually. And so there is a cemetery named for the family. And it's very old and kind of overgrown, but we've been working on it. And called the Curtis Cemetery. Well, there are markers there from people who have lived in the 17th century. And one of them, I think I may have talked about it here at one time, was particularly interesting to me. It sort of piqued my interest. I had a little tune that naturally just came to me, and I've been holding onto it for a long time. But, so I never really thought of sharing it because it was just a short little thing, which I'll go over in a minute. But somehow when Jean pulled me into this SOBAD group, there were a couple of other verses that came along with it, and I thought, well, I should be sharing it with it. So I I did, and so the song starts with the words from the tombstone. And I call it From the Ancestors because that's where I got it from.
From the Ancestors, Mary is going to sing it all the way through by herself one time. And then if you pick up the melody pretty easily, we invite you to join on verses 2 and 3.
Name of the song again?
From the Ancestors.
From the Ancestors.
F-R.
Under F.
That's good.
I'll keep the tempo low. I won't bring this.
No, you right.
Here we go.
Remember, friend, as you pass by, as you are now, so once was I, as I am now, so you must be. Remember death and follow me, come along, follow me, come along, follow me. Love, friends, and others too.
what you found in your printed bulletin. That's because, as many of you know, our administrator, our congregational administrator, Edith Bellinger, had surgery on Monday of this week, and in anticipation, she printed these long in advance. And as Jean mentioned, our newest motto, "Be Here Now," has to do with the changes that we make as we go along, and created this. So, thank you, Marie. Do we have any joys or sorrows or milestones that people would like to announce and share? You can turn to it and follow along or join in if you are willing and able. And C.J. Jones and the first, the E-Band present that particularly religious song that we're well known for. It ain't religion if it ain't got snakes.
Under S.
Under S.
Smitten and bitten.
You all, I want to remind you that as existentialists, we value freedom of choice. I have no idea how long this service is going to go. So if you need to leave, please allow yourself to leave freely with our blessing. Just smile at us before you walk out the door, so we'll know you're not, hassled or mad or something.
Hey, Kate, did you get a snake?
The name of the song is
Smitten and bitten.
Smitten.
Name of the song.
Smitten with an S. S-M. Yeah. Hey, just my outfit today was actually, I second guessed myself for a moment. I was like, maybe I shouldn't wear all that. And then I thought, what would Lanier do? So I went back and got some meaningful socks to add to the outfit. So I got sock monkeys on my socks. And just so you know, the outfit was actually painted by Kip Ramey, who was one of the people who exhibited here one time, pre-pandemic times. All right. All ready to roll? Yeah. All right. This is a song of snake handler love, Appalachian love ballad, I guess. Sunday school, where everybody's gotta be saved. It ain't religion, but if it ain't God's faith, how can I be a believer if they never ever just my faith? Me and my first wife, Linda, we used to teach at Sunday school. She looks sweet without snakes at her feet. She made me act just like a fool. So I picked one up, I kissed it, right smack there on the cheek. I held it back out to little Lou, who got bit by the rattlesnake teeth. It ain't religion, well, if it ain't God's faith, I don't want to sit in no Sunday school where everybody's gotta be saved. Yeah. It ain't religion, whatever it ain't God's faith. How can I be a believer if you never from up there. I thought that she'd be okay with me, with Jamie and the devil red hair. First time I took Jamie to Sunday school, she got a bit, and to my surprise, rattlesnakes was looking back at me with Linda Lou's faraway eyes. It ain't religion, whatever it ain't, got snakes. I don't want to sit in no Sunday school where everybody's got to be saved. It ain't religion, whatever it ain't, got snakes. How can I be a believer if they never ever tested my faith? Jamie went on to join Linda Lou up in heaven for heaven's sakes. Sometimes I see their eyes in the faces of every single rattlesnake. Last thing for I join them, and it's almighty up above. Now those snakes have been every single girl this country boy ever did love. It ain't religion, whatever it ain't, got snakes. I don't want to see no Sunday school where everybody's got to be saved. It ain't religion, whatever it ain't, got snakes. How can I be a believer if they never ever tested my faith? Yeah, Corey, please. She's second cousin to Linda Lou. We do things with snakes more than we probably should in order to do. I did one just a moment ago, and it sure enough bit me back. Now I'm running into that light. I'm not sure that I'm coming back. Whatever it ain't, got snakes. I don't want to sit in no Sunday school where everybody's got to be saved. It ain't religion, whatever it ain't, got snakes. How can I be a believer if they never ever tested my faith? Grab a snake. I've got some of this beautiful guitar painted up so finally here. I'll say thank the artist I'm sitting with back there, Rob 7, painted my beautiful anatomy.
Well, we're going to go from Sand Mountain and Arab, Alabama, and we are going to move forward here shortly to something more modern with Andy Weiskoff.
Cletus is taller than me. Singing as an act of resistance. This is from the Make Art Not War project. Dissidents have long turned to song as a vehicle to mobilize against censorship, fascism, and racism. In an increasingly globalized world, artists borrow and exchange musical styles and genres as they express affinity between conditions of marginalization and oppression, whether by protesting against oppression and violence, criticizing political affairs through satire, or helping to negotiate laws. Music is unique in its potential for social transformation. And there's a famous actual misquote by Emma Goldman that goes, "If I can't dance, I don't want to be in the revolution." I think Lanier used to say that.
Yeah.
And I'd like to add that goes for singing, and as I hope you'll agree with the next song, with laughter too.
So with that introduction, the next song that we are going to present to you, and I know it may be a little hard to follow along. It depends on whether or not you are familiar with Gilbert and Sullivan and the Pirates of Penzance. The name of the song is "I Am the Very Model of a Modern Existentialist."
Let's just hope it's not as fast as
I am the very model of a modern existentialist.
You all come closer. Over here.
I know I can talk that way.
Well, hopefully it won't be as fast as it is in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You want yes. How you want.
I am the very
Model of a modern existentialist, far broader than a Christian, Hindu, Jew, or fundamentalist. Know the world's religions and can trace their roots historical, from Moses up to Merton, all in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted too with theories philosophical on Kant, Camus, War, and more. I'm always wholly logical about most any topics. I will never miss a single beat. I'm full of fine ideas to find congregations empty seats. We're full of fine ideas to fill our congregations empty seats. We're full of fine ideas to fill our congregations empty seats. We're full of fine ideas to fill our congregations empty seats. That women pave the way to get there where we are today. From Anthony to Stanton, and those and truth, they're all okay. Feminist perspective we are fully in agreement with. It's fundamental to our tenets that we've made our compact with. I quote from Freud and Young and all the experts psychological. I'm right, I'm new, I don't pollute, I'm chastely illogical. In short, in matter spiritual, ethical, material, I am the very model of a modern
worship Him. I serve on 10 committees, none of which accomplish anything. Give to worthy causes and I drive a gas-conserving car. I have good first-aid principles, although I'm not sure what they are. Short in matter, spiritual, ethical, material. I am the very model of a modern existentialist. Short in matter, spiritual, ethical, material. We are the very model of a modern existentialist.
Author. Who is the author?
Take a bow.
A more theatrical version of this, Google Modern Unitarian, and you'll see a whole production.
Ours is better.
Very happy.
I mean, you know, pardon me.
Billie Holiday sounds like a true existentialist saying, if I'm going to sing like someone else, then I don't need to sing at all.
All right. Yeah. Woo.
For community announcements, the main one that I have is that we have, I have more. On the table at the back, there are several people who we would love to get your current membership from. And so if you have not yet had a chance to fill it out, we hope that you'll take the chance today. There are pens and printed copies there. The annual meeting of our congregation will be in 2 weeks on the 24th, and that will be about 12:45, just after the service that day. The Art Guild is going to host our first art opening in over 2 years.
Please remind people that the annual meeting is both in person and on Zoom. So there's 2 different options on how to attend.
Yep. So we'll have that. So if you can't be here in person that day, hopefully you can still tune in at 12:45 for the annual meeting. The art opening will be Friday, April the 22nd. Photography of Briss Bergwhistle, and 6 to 8 p.m. This coming Saturday, Beacon Dance has art on the Beltline, and you should have received a copy of that. And there is a sign-up sheet in the back if you would like to be outside that day at Panola Mountain. And Mary Howard and the Membership Guild is organizing an outing. Meet here about 10 o'clock right out to Panola Mountain. You're welcome to bring your dogs, and if they're on the leash, and bring a lunch, and it's going to be about a 4 to 5 hour outing. Are there any other community announcements? Okay. Our closing song today is one that many of you are very, very familiar with. It is Eyes on the Prize. And we invite you to rise in body and spirit, as you're willing and able, as we do Eyes on the Prize.
Give me heads up here. Here we go. Paul and Silas found in jail, had no money for to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Paul and Silas thought they'd lost, dungeon shook and chains come off. the third verse again. The only thing I did was wrong, staying in the wilderness too long. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only thing we did was right, was the day we started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on.
Closing words today come from the president of Lithuania. Lithuania. They were in the singing revolution when Estonia and Latvia took on the Soviet Union and won. And there's a wonderful documentary out about the singing revolution. And it talks about, the president talks about that singing was identified as a very powerful, nonviolent weapon of choice in the struggle for national self-determination. And he said, quote, "Look into the eyes of the person who would oppress you and sing. Song has helped us for many centuries. Let us leave evil feelings to others. Let's not pay attention to that. Let's sing."
Pink Songbook and our Songbook Addendum. We thank you all for the contributions you made, and very much to the people who were the authors and performers today.